Ready, Shazad?
I'm ready.
So, um, can we start? And first of all, once again, I really would like to start by thanking both of you for taking the time to come once again and be here and speak and share your stories.
You're very welcome, Sharon. We are enjoying it too because it relieves some pressure. Usually it feels good psychologically to say what's on your mind and in a very open discussion as we have done the first time. Now I would like to start, if you don't mind,
Please
by
go ahead. Yeah.
just giving a little bit of a summary of all what we said before.
Please.
Yeah. The I mentioned my name again. My name is Mazen Al Khairi, and I was born in Jerusalem to I can call it a privileged family.
Yeah.
And we had a very good and easy life until 1947, late 1947, and then 1948, when the problems occurred. As a child of just about 10 years old, you can imagine when I saw wounded people with blood and so on, and I saw dead people who fought and were killed, buried. I saw the funerals because we were not far away from where the cemetery was. And then, of course, to top it all, it came the ethnic cleansing of my city, Ramla, or Ramle, some people call it. After owning so many things and having so many things, our houses, our cars, our farms, and so on, my father left with 200 Palestinian guineas, they call them, they're equivalent to 200 British guineas in his pocket. If he wasn't an educated man, he would not have been able to rebuild his life, and ours too. Right. I mean, we were lucky because we didn't have to go to refugee camps.
Right.
Now he was able to educate us and so on and so forth, but the trauma that occurred in when I was young and the screaming and
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm going to have to turn it off, and I didn't know it was on.
it's not switching off. I don't know why. It's refusing to switch. Not unobedient. Yeah, here it is now. So I was saying that the trauma of my childhood at 9.5, 10 years old when we were ethnically cleansed and so on, and we arrived in Ramallah, and the nightmares that my mother told me I was having for 2 months, 3 months. This is what's continuing. You see, until now we cannot. The reason for not forgetting is that we even couldn't continue with our lives without. Until now, I know not me personally, but our people are suffering exactly the same thing, if not worse. The checkpoints. For instance, I'll give you a small example. A trip from Ramallah to Jerusalem used to take me 15 minutes because it's 16 kilometers away. It's just going to the West Island. Now, it probably takes 2 to 3 hours for people to cross this small distance. That's if they're allowed to cross, because most of the time they're not allowed. Even pregnant women were made to deliver their babies at checkpoints, Sharon. When I see the bombardment, the killing, and so on, because you see this on TV these days, the media shows you everything. So the trauma, you see, your people are until now suffering from this thing that is called the conflict, and it's not a conflict. It's, in my opinion, it's just like any other invasion, like a foreign power coming and taking over your country and not leaving anything for you. And you're not even treated as a human being, because human beings don't treat each other like that. This is mainly the whole idea of what I said during the first 2 hours of this interview. It's just that we are people who are the victims, and we are made to be the aggressors. We are the terrorists. We are the people who resist now are called terrorists. And people who are actually the terrorists, who are inflicting all this damage on other people, They are the good guys. This is. I don't understand how this world can believe that. Now, if you want to talk about coming to Canada, we'll start on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can ask me whatever you like. You can just to tell you the story. I will tell you. If you want to ask a question and answer, I will do that.
Well, okay. Let's just recall. You came to Canada from where and in what year?
Okay. We came to Canada in 1988.
Uh-huh.
I was in Saudi Arabia for 21 years.
Yeah.
That's after the 1967 war. I left. I don't know if I mentioned the story behind it because I stayed 4 months under the occupation of 3.5 months, and then I had to leave because of something that I thought did not please our dear occupiers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went to visit my brother who was working in Saudi Arabia, and I was offered a job, and of course there was not many jobs there were not many jobs in Saudi Arabia or in all the Middle East.
Right.
But I was offered the job by a friend of mine, and I accepted. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try it for a year. The year extended to 21.
Yeah.
1 year after I went to Saudi, we got married, and that's it. At the end, you create your own life. You create your own atmosphere and so on. We have very, very rarely mixed with the Saudis because they have their different customs and so on. So expatriates were our friends most of the time. And my nature is I like to work as a freelancer.
Yes.
After the first and the second jobs that I had, I decided that's it. So with a friend of mine, we created a consulting engineering office. And that continued for the last 14 years of my stay in Saudi Arabia. I was both partner and the overall manager of the company. We did lots of work for the government of Saudi Arabia and also for the private sector. Okay, the last project that we did
What kind of
was the design of King Faisal University campus. One of the campuses.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you do?
We did the joint venture with two US firms.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them is called DMJM International, and the other TAC, based in Boston. The first one is based in LA. Okay. I was the representative of the joint venture in front of the client.
Okay, so you were like the contractor manager.
We did the design only because I think the execution of the project came after we came here to Canada.
Okay.
This was the last one, as I said, the last project that we did.
Design means what?
Design means you prepare all the drawings. Of course, after we discuss it with the client, you get their approval and so on, and then you prepare the specifications, the bills of quantities, etc., etc. I went back to Saudi Arabia in 1990 because they decided to build the College of Agriculture because the old one got burnt. You see, so a group from the three companies went to Saudi Arabia to advise them how to do it, how to start building one college only, because originally the plan was to build the infrastructure first.
Okay.
So, but infrastructure was not there.
Okay.
So we went to advise them on how to do it. Okay. And we did. We did. I don't know if they built it or not, really.
You don't know?
No, I really don't know. But this was extremely enjoyable to me because I had to travel long distances because it was in the eastern region of Saudi Arabia and we were in Riyadh. So 335 kilometers a trip.
Okay.
I used to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning and come back at about probably 6 in the evening.
And you enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it completely. Yeah. It was very, very nice.
Is it? What is it? Is it beautiful or?
No. It's the area is, first of all, it's an agricultural area. One few in Saudi Arabia, lots of palm trees and things like that. But it's the project that was very, very interesting to me. I traveled to the United States also to discuss the thing with the two American firms and so on. Yeah. We did also lots of sports centers.
Mm-hmm.
We designed the Ministry of Commerce, the headquarters.
Really?
We did lots of work for the intelligence. There is, you know, and then also to the communications. They have the presidency of telecommunications that is specialized in communications between the government and lots of the major princes. You see? We did the headquarters for this organization.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a very different style from? I mean, is
No.
it,
We actually designed it according to the latest world standards. And when we couldn't cope actually in Saudi Arabia because of visa problems, because if you sack somebody, he's not doing his work. You want to bring another expert to help you with the design. It takes 5 months, 6 months to get the permit. So what we did is we established an office in London, England.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the partners was running it, and we had an associate office in Athens, Greece.
Okay.
You see, in Saudi Arabia, I had about 56 people working on different projects.
Wow.
You see.
So you have just an entrepreneurial spirit, or
Yes, this is my way of.
that's your
I don't like to be an employee. I like to work on my own.
because you studied engineering.
I studied engineering
yeah.
in England. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Civil engineering.
Yeah, and before coming, you know, when I had my interview for immigrating to Canada,
Yeah.
the first thing Monsieur de Montigny, who was the
Okay.
chief of interviewer,
Okay.
he actually said, I like your application so much because I could sell myself so easily.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as a consultant, you know how to present yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a beautiful file
Yeah.
with the index and so on. And when he saw it, he said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Something wrong?" He said, No. I wish everybody is like you."
Wow.
10 minutes my interview lasted, and it ended with number one, me signing a piece of paper that I would not work as an engineer.
Why not?
This is what immigration wanted.
Okay.
No doctors, no engineers.
Okay.
I said, "It's okay, fine, I'll work as a businessman." And the second thing was, "What questions do you have for me?"
Well.
And I said, "Monsieur de Montigny, I want to go and visit Montreal in winter." He said, "You can't. You're not allowed. When you apply for immigration, you're not allowed to go until you're accepted." And I said, "Look, I've never seen Montreal.
But you're allowed. Okay, go.
Yeah, but I want to go and see it with my family." He said, "Look, I like your application so much. Give me 1 month notice, and you will get your visa." And we got it. We came in February of '88. Temperature at Mirabel was -17, and with the wind chill, -40.
And you're still here?
Look what actually just turned my mind.
Yeah.
A friend of ours has reserved for us at the Bonaventure Hilton. You go up to this penthouse, walked on this corridor to go to the reception, and I looked to my right, and there was this huge window with people swimming outside. And my heart felt just melted, you know. I said, "Oh my God, nothing stops them," you see. And I loved the city ever since, you know.
Wow.
We bought our house in TMR before we were accepted.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you had a pretty good idea it was going to work.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we came here in August of '88, and my two daughters went straight to university, and the boys went to school.
Okay, so let's back up just a minute about the choice of Canada. This is '88.
Yes.
In Saudi Arabia, you think for the sake of the children, for why did you want to live?
Two major reasons.
Yeah.
Reason number one is the government of Saudi Arabia decided to Saudize all consultancy engineering offices. Okay. Meaning that any Saudi engineer, and they gave the minimum experience, 3 years experience, can open up an office and call it a consultancy engineering office. Now these guys started importing engineers from Thailand, Bangladesh, Philippines, and so on, with very little salaries, put them in one apartment, buy a small bus, Volkswagen bus for them, to take them not to one project, but to many projects, which was not allowed, but because they're Saudis and they know all the others, the government engineers, they were allowed to do that. So we just couldn't compete.
Yeah.
We couldn't compete. For supervision work on a major project, we were charging something in the order of anywhere between 220 to 30,000 to 300,000 per month, reals that is. And real exchange rate is 3.75 to the US dollar. Okay? So it's not a bad income every month. And we had so many projects. But each project had its own staff, minimum 6 people. Between project manager, engineer, electrical, mechanical, and clerks of works. But these guys were charging, instead of this amount, 250,000. Instead of 250, 25,000. 25 is 1/10 of what I reduced my to cost, to barely cost. It just didn't work.
No.
You see?
Okay, so that's...
So that was one reason. The other reason is my 2 daughters who were in studying the last 2 years of their school years was in Geneva, Switzerland,
right.
Simply because number one, I wanted to expose them to a sort of better life than living in Saudi wearing veils and I don't know what, like their school dictated. And I wasn't very happy about seeing them like that. So we sent them to Geneva to study there in the international school, and they were ready for their university studies. And Najah and I thought that it's so much better to keep the family together because of the difference in age between the girls and the boys.
How much difference in it?
10 years, but 9 years between the youngest girl and the eldest boy,
Yeah.
They were born 70, 71 and 80, 81.
Yeah.
You see the boys. So, because in between, Najah went to university in Riyadh. So we came here just to keep the family together.
Yeah.
Okay? Well,
they had a good experience in Geneva?
Absolutely. Yeah. They loved it.
Yeah.
And there was their uncle was living there, a late uncle was living there. But they were boarders. They were not living with their uncle.
But already they were used to an international
Exactly. And I liked the way their personalities were developing and so on. Beautiful. And when they came to Riyadh, they were the life of parties and so on and so forth. Yeah. Anyway, we came here.
So, but why here? Why Canada?
Canada, I thought this is one of the countries that I admired, and I thought that the country here, they believe in human rights and things like that and so on. And unfortunately, ever since, we've been going downhill and deteriorating, culminating with our dear Mr. Harper, who is probably, I don't know what to say about him, his bigotry is unbelievable. I mean, it's for somebody who is serving a country like this, I don't think he deserves to be a prime minister, personally. Okay. Now, this is my personal opinion, and I will never vote for anybody like him, believe me. I love this country because I thought that everybody has a fair chance.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, also, we have a very strong neighbor south of us, who's like what? We're like one of the states there. Okay, since I was not allowed to work as an engineer, I thought best thing is to use my experience in the Middle East to export Canadian products to the Middle East.
Okay.
All right, to work as a businessman.
Okay.
One of the strongest items of business in Canada is forestry engineering, newsprint, wood, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So, started by selling newsprint.
Okay.
Okay. And then, with the wood, we had a problem during the first Gulf War. And I decided that just to do business with the Middle East is not enough. You have to do something locally.
Okay.
All right. So what I did is, with my partners, we built a